Welcome back. Daily Show. 10:39, a little bit of change. Back with Cindy in the Madison County Historical Society. And Cindy, thanks for hanging on tight during that technical break.
That's okay.
Well, and we're glad to have you on. And really just for the couple of seconds that we have to reset on, the annual Winter Wine and Cheese Reception's coming up quick. We are almost a week away, less than a week away, January the 28th, which is a great day. It's my birthday, 4:30 to 7 p.m.
Oh. Well, I hope you can come celebrate with us.
Oh, that would be great. And, Cindy, how long have you guys been putting this Winter Wine and Cheese Reception on?
It's either the third or fourth year.
And, take me through the event and what can the public expect?
Well, as you come into the building itself is wonderful to see because it's an 1836 building. If I hesitate, it's because I have an echo going. But anyway, there'll be live jazz. There'll be refreshments. And best of all is the people that come. It's wonderful to interact with those folks. We don't have advanced ticket sales. It's a suggested donation of $25 at the door. And you'll just have a lovely evening.
Well, and like you said, it's a really great time to really just see all that you guys have to really experience in a refined way, and in a consolidated way, Cindy, because you guys do so much throughout the year that I think it's such a great testament just to kind of bring everyone together during the winter and just celebrate that too.
It is. We have more than a dozen events during the course of the year, everything from speaker series. There's 4 of those a year. Last week we had a literary salon that featured the poetry of Walt Whitman and Emily Dickinson that was well attended. We have festivals, and this year especially, we plan on celebrating the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence.
Well, and I'm really glad that you guys are taking note on that because it's just such an important year for our country. And, really just to start this off this year being the 250th and getting close to that official date to really celebrate locally, Cindy. And take me through just your time being with the Historical Society and being able to celebrate local history, preserve it. What's that meant for you? And then what's that meant for the public and their feedback just on the organization?
Well, I've been on the board for over 10 years, but I've been involved in local history for longer than that, which if you're involved in local history and doing any kind of research, you, of course, go to the Madison County Archival Library because it's a wonderful source for people that are either researching their family or their building or just looking at the history of the county. You just never know what you're going to find there. They have unique resources that you won't find anywhere else. I especially like the diaries and memoirs and that sort of thing. But I do a lot of writing. I edit the newsletter. I do a series of articles every year in May on historic buildings in Edwardsville. The newsletter, of course, is countywide. So right now I'm researching a couple of historic buildings up in Alhambra. That'll be in the May newsletter. The January newsletter was on George Musso. You're fairly young, so I don't know if you remember George Musso, but he was a politician. He was a sheriff in Madison County and treasurer, and he was also an NFL Chicago Bears football player who's in the National Hall of Fame.
Oh, wow.
And he was from right here in Madison County. So he played for 12 years for the Bears, and he was one of the largest of the monsters of the Midway, which is what they called the Chicago Bears back in his day. So it's a wonderful issue, the January newsletter.
We'll have to take note of that and make sure we link that. And, man, I just hate to get arrested by him.
Oh, yeah, he was a big guy. He was a big guy, yeah.
Well, and going into this, folks, you have the opportunity on January the 28th at 715 North Main Street. It's a beautiful building. It's a suggested donation of $25 that can be paid by check, cash, or credit card at the door. And the public is invited to attend the annual Winter Wine and Cheese reception. And take me through the jazz that we're going to be hearing one more time, Cindy.
Well, one of our board members, Wilbert Glasper, is he's renowned in this area. He plays the saxophone, and he always brings with him some of his friends who also play, and they just set a wonderful backdrop. You know, it's just beautiful music coming, a lot of your big band jazz, and it just flows through the building. I love the mating of the jazz with the historic warehouse building.
Well, it's a perfect combination. And, you know, on top of that, too, it really is the perfect time of year to start planning, Cindy, for all of us that do this, our donations for 2026. And with you guys being a 501c3 non-for-profit, you know, those donations go a long way. And take me through, if somebody's able to or they're interested in supporting you guys throughout the year, what does that look like?
We are very grateful. We have different opportunities. Of course, just any kind of donation is welcome. We have a staff that we need to pay, and utilities for 4 buildings. So any kind of donations help, because we don't have any public funding at all. So everything has to be raised through donations and memberships. If you're not a member and are interested in local history, you'll get 6 copies of our newsletter each year and invitations to all these different events that we have. We also have opportunities for sponsorship. So if you have a business that would like to help sponsor our newsletter, that's one of our major expenses for publications. And we have folks that can sponsor different issues, or if they want to sponsor one of our speaker series events, those are also great opportunities. We had 3 local restaurants that sponsored our membership renewal campaign for this year that worked really well, because we told people if you renew by January 1st, which is our memberships all run through the end of the year, and we said if you renew before January 1st, you have a shot at dinner at either Bella Milano, Cleveland Heath, or the Stagger Inn again, and all 3 restaurants generously donated gift cards, and that was kind of exciting. We had a lot of people that took advantage of that particular contest. But anything that we can do to increase membership means that we don't have to spend as much time doing fundraising.
And not to cut you off, Cindy, we were just showcasing on the show and on the screen for the folks at home watching this live or on demand later, that if you go to madcohistory.org, that's madcohistory.org, you'll see a join and donate tab. That's what we just showed on your screen. Whether it's a one-time donation or an annual gift, it really does go a long way. And there's so much history and so much of a story still to tell, Cindy, when it comes to Madison County.
It's a never-ending supply of historical events and buildings and people that we can explore. And there's always something new. Just a couple of weeks ago, I had a gentleman show me a photograph, and that sent me down the rabbit hole. But it was a photograph taken on what is today Randall Street in Edwardsville. But back in the day when the photograph was taken, it was a streetcar line. That was not Randall Street. It was a streetcar line. And in the distance, you could see this picture. And the gentleman that showed it to me, he said, you know, I think they moved that house. And so I started digging into it, and sure enough, they moved that house. And this wasn't even that long ago. It was in the 60s. In the early 60s, if you took St. Louis Street in Edwardsville West, it dead-ended at Rose Avenue.
Wow.
And, you know, right at the cemetery. And,
wow.
And when they expanded that road to create New Pogue Road, they had to move that house that was in the picture the fellow showed me. They had to move that to the south side of the road.
That's incredible. Well, and
Yeah.
Cindy, I was just showcasing, and we still have it on the screen, but just zoomed in a little bit ago on it. If you go to madcohistory.org again and you scroll to the bottom of the webpage, you'll see that mailing list that you can join and be a part of this, correct?
Yes. But you only get the newsletter and the invitations and that sort of thing if you are a member.
Absolutely. And when, what are the pricing on those memberships, real quick?
Well, the individual membership is $50, and after that, there's a family membership at $75, a friend or corporate member at $100, and there's, supporting and patron and Madison Circle levels too. So you can join at any level.
Really good. And going back into the 28th from 4:30 to 7 p.m., be a part of the annual Winter Wine and Cheese Reception. The ticket price is a suggested donation of $25. I got to ask you, though, Cindy, what type of, are you a wine connoisseur?
I am not. Believe it or not, I love the wine and cheese reception, and I don't eat cheese or drink wine, but I still have a fabulous time.
Well, and that's what I think is really cool is the camaraderie, I'm sure, and then just the sense of community that's experienced there, too.
Yes.
And you'll be able to stroll through the galleries of this 1836 building and really just hear the echoes of the past and listen to some great music that's going to be performed as well. Cindy, is there anything else to talk about for right now?
Well, I could say that we do have another fundraiser coming up on February 1st. The Moose Lodge in Edwardsville is kind enough to hold a chicken dinner fundraiser for us every year, and that's falling on February 1st. So anyone that's interested in coming out and having a delicious chicken dinner and helping out the Historical Society at the same time, we would sure appreciate that.
What time is that?
That's, I believe, from 11 to 3.
On February the 1st?
Yes.
Perfect.
And then our first speaker series is on February 8th.
And how can we get tickets for that?
It's free and open to the public.
Oh, wow. This is, another great reason to support
series.
you.
We try to make history accessible for everyone.
It's just incredible. And that was on February the 8th, Cindy?
Yes.
What time again?
It's Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. at the Main Street Community Center.
Perfect.
And our speaker series are all held there.
Perfect. And we'll link all of that, Cindy, in a write-up on RiverBender.com on top of this opportunity to go out to the Winter Wine and Cheese fundraiser and help support you guys as well. And is that going to be it for now, Cindy? Did we touch on everything?
I think we've got everything that's coming up soon, but be sure to, you can follow us on Facebook. We always send you information about everything, and there's something going on all the time.
Well, and we really appreciate all the great insights you provide us, Cindy, and the Madison County Historical Society does too. We'll link everything in a RiverBender write-up on line, and we'll take a quick break. We'll come back and wrap up this Thursday morning right after this quick one on RiverBender.com.